Sony's latest report, Ghost of Tsushima spin-offs, and PS5 Pro getting strong third-party support. All this in today's video. Please like the video, subscribe to never miss a PlayStation update, and share the video to help grow our community. Now let's talk about Sony's latest corporate report. In Sony's latest report, PlayStation updates highlight key areas of focus, including diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as game accessibility. The report also reveals that PlayStation Network boasts 116 million monthly active users. Sony aims to grow its games revenue beyond consoles as well, expanding into platforms like PC while continuing to develop its live service offerings. And people have a couple concerns here. Number one being the platforms that they plan on expanding. Guys, this is not anything new here. We're expecting them to continue this by porting games over to PC, as this is a new revenue pool for them to draw from. And the second concern being the live service offerings and developing their live service offerings. I guess some people expected that after Concord's failure that Sony would back off and lay off the live service games, but I think that that's a little bit naive to think that that would be the case, especially after they had the big, massive success that was Helldivers 2. They are going to keep making these live service bets. I don't think they're going to focus as heavily as they were before, maybe making smaller and fewer bets, but I do see them continuing to push in the live service area, and they're telling you right here that they're going to keep doing that. Whether it means they're going to focus their bigger studios on that or not is another story. I think that they're going to probably find other avenues for these kind of games, and we're seeing that already as we obviously have Fair games coming out and some other projects in the works. And I think that that's okay as long as they continue to develop those single-player games, because we obviously need those to satiate the fan bases. Most of us PlayStation gamers that are on the platform because we love the PlayStation history is due to their first-party games and their single-player games that we've come to love. So naturally, we wouldn't want to be neglected as far as that goes. Then there's obviously the last thing here, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know, there's a lot of drama surrounding this in this case. If you thought Sony was going to do less of that, well, obviously they're not going to, as we've seen them push more and more into that direction. Whether you like it or not, that's the situation on hand, and that's what you can expect, as that will continue to be a thing. Some people see this as a bad thing. Some people see it as a good thing. Whoever you are, I'm sure you'll share your opinions in the comments below. But moving on to Ghost of Tsushima. In a recent article from the New York Times, reporter Zachary Small mentions Sucker Punch Productions plans to extend the Ghost of Tsushima franchise. This includes the previously announced movie and other spin-offs. In quotes, on Tuesday, Sucker Punch Productions announced Ghost of Yotei, the beginning of an official franchise that will include at least one movie and other spin-offs, putting the series alongside emblematic Sony PlayStation titles like God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. While I understand the desire for fans to see another game with Jin Sakai as the lead, this does present an opportunity for us to see more projects with him included in their stories. Obviously, this is merely speculation, as there is no guarantee that we will see Jin Sakai return in a major way in the future, but I would be surprised if he doesn't have a spotlight in any way in the next entry. I understand a lot of people wanted it to be Ghost of Tsushima 2 or whatever they want to name it, and they wanted it to star Jin Sakai. And I'm with you. I did want to see that. I obviously did expect the next entry to star Jin, and that is what I wanted to see, as I was very invested in that character and the stories that could be told around that character. Unfortunately, that is not what they're planning to do. And that doesn't necessarily mean that Ghost of Yotei is going to be a bad game. It just means that, hey, they're going to have to make a compelling story and characters for us to want to, keep playing this game. And with that said, they need to also make a compelling game, which Sucker Punch is known to be able to do. So I do think that they can do it, but yeah, it is a little bit of one of those things where people became attached to Jin, and now they're not able to play as Jin, which I hope that they do include him some way, somehow in the second game, even if it's just one of those Tales missions where, you can play as him and telling a story or whatever it may be, as I think that that's a character that a lot of us became enamored with. Like, we really love Jin Sakai, and so it'd be cool to see something for him in the next game. But those are my thoughts. I'm sure you guys will leave your own, and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on how you're feeling about Ghost of Yotei. Now, moving on to our last topic, the PS5 Pro getting strong third-party support. And the PS5 Pro is basically designed to deliver significantly enhanced performance through 3 major hardware improvements, right? We know that AI-driven upscaling, a larger and more powerful GPU, and advanced ray tracing capabilities. These features were aimed to provide sharper visuals, better lighting effects, and smoother gameplay, making it a more premium option in what PlayStation offers. However, to fully utilize these improvements, games would need to be updated with specific PS5 Pro enhancements, and we know that the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to get strong third-party support, at least as of now, because there are 54 games that have been confirmed to take advantage of the PS5 Pro's enhanced features. These games will specifically benefit from the Pro's enhanced GPU, improving ray tracing and AI-driven upscaling, offering players a more immersive experience with crisper visuals and more realistic lighting. Despite these improvements, not every game will hit the gold standard of 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. Some titles might still target 30 FPS while being classified as PS5 Pro enhanced, particularly if their design prioritizes graphical fidelity over frame rate. Additionally, even older games that haven't received specific updates for the PS5 Pro can technically benefit from the console's Game Boost feature. This allows backwards compatible PS4 games like Elden Ring to see improvements in both visuals and performance even without a dedicated PS5 Pro patch. Like, obviously, this is going to be determined based on these third-party developers. If they want to make a 60 FPS fidelity looking mode, it's going to be on them to do that, right? Like, it's not going to be a situation where every game is going to have that, because it is going to be up to the developers in the end anyway. For me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing what they are going to offer, right? What they're going to give us with the PS5 Pro. I've pre-ordered mine. I'd love to hear if you guys pre-ordered yours. I know they are still up for sale. I don't expect this to be one of those things that is very, very hard to come by, right? We're in a different time right now. We are seeing, you know, obviously the economy at its low. I mean, some would say even its lowest because of inflation, right? And on top of that, the system is more expensive. And on top of that, right, there are more available than ever, right? So it's not a situation like with the PS5 where we had that whole situation with the chip shortage, and you know, that was a very, very specific set of conditions that ended up having the PS5 become that super limited item that a lot of people wanted. The PS5 Pro just simply doesn't face that. On top of that, it is a mid-gen refresh, so we got to consider that as well, where it's not going to be that appealing for everybody to jump on, because a lot of people are okay with their PS5s, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? If you don't care about that extra frame rate or extra frames per second or a high resolution, then technically speaking, you don't really need to get anything better than the PS5, right? So this is a situation where it's going to be a specific set of people. So I don't expect this to sell out everywhere, but here we are. A lot of people still did end up buying it, and I am one of them, and I look forward to seeing how it performs, right? Especially versus my experiences with the PS5. There are a few games I already want to go back to, and it's nice to hear that 54 of these games are being updated for day one. But that is all I have for you guys in today's video. Let me know what you guys think about everything we discussed here. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and share the video to keep this community growing. I thank you all for watching. Take care.